God's advice today. Have you ever felt that God is trying to speak to you, yet in the busyness of life, His signs go unnoticed? This message invites you to pause, reflect, and open your heart. Perhaps this is exactly what you needed to hear today. Watch until the end with openness, and if these words touch you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell to receive more messages like this. Don't forget to check the pinned comment for a 1-minute prayer and a recommended message to help strengthen your faith even more. God said, "My son, listen to me with your heart fully awake, for this moment is not a coincidence but a divinely appointed meeting between heaven and your soul, a sacred touch to reignite what exhaustion tried to extinguish within you. You have felt the weight of many battles, and at times you almost believed your strength had run out, but I tell you, I was with you in every trembling breath, in every silent night, in every doubt that tried to weaken your spirit. As it is written, for with God nothing shall be impossible." Luke chapter 1 verse 37. Do you feel ready for a deep change in your life and in the lives of those you love? Sometimes all you need is one small step of faith to open the doors of abundance, peace, and the blessings I have already prepared for you. A simple 1-minute prayer can begin a spiritual journey that transforms your inner world and reflects in your outer life. If you desire to attract more light, balance, and prosperity, both spiritual and material, click on the first comment. There you will find a simple practice, guided with love, to help you connect more deeply with my presence in your life. My son, do not fear your past, nor compare your path with others, for what I prepared for you is unique, crafted with eternal precision, woven with love before you even existed. Nothing you lived was in vain. Every pain, every waiting season, every tear planted in you seeds of spiritual authority. I breathed a living truth inside you, a flame that never goes out, and now I awaken it again. This is your time of alignment, your time of awakening, your time to walk with conviction toward the purpose I designed for you before your first breath. Comment, I trust God's plans for me, He never fails. My beloved son, I know how your energy has been drained by words spoken by those who never saw the depth of your inner world, by silent thoughts no one noticed but that I perceived one by one, because nothing that moves inside you escapes my eyes. I know how tempted you were to give up when the path felt too dark, too long, when your own emotions became a labyrinth difficult to navigate. But today I tell you with heavenly authority, lift your head and breathe deeply, for nothing you lived was wasted. Even what wounded you is being transformed into wisdom, maturity, and discernment, like seeds that sprout after a storm. I have sent my angels to open paths where your eyes saw only walls, to break invisible traps, to protect your soul on days when you didn't know how to protect yourself. I have placed signs before you, some you noticed and kept in your heart, others you ignored without realizing, and others you still don't understand, but all of them are part of the sacred route I designed for you. Nothing slipped out of my control, nothing escaped my sovereignty. I take you by the hand again and lead you, for there is still an advance your feet must make, a movement only you can perform. What is coming will be greater, deeper, and more glorious than anything that has passed. Comment, I receive the strength God is releasing over my life. Remember what is written, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Psalm 23 verse 4. My son, there were moments that tried to convince you that you were alone, moments when darkness seemed to swallow your hope, days when your heart whispered silently that you couldn't take one more step, but I tell you, you never walked alone. I walked with you through the dark corridors of doubt, through days when your silence shouted louder than any word, through nights when your tears fell without human witnesses, but never without my gaze. While many saw only the surface of your actions, I penetrated deeply into the field of your soul and saw the war you were fighting, the silent courage that kept you moving, the faith that resisted even while trembling. And today I declare over you, your spiritual sensitivity is not weakness, it is a precious gift. Your ability to feel deeply is not a problem, but a mark of my Spirit dwelling within you. The enemy tried to distort this, tried to convince you that you were too fragile, but I formed you strong in the invisible, and it is this strength that now leads you into the new season. And when you say, I know God walks with me in every detail, heaven will confirm it, for I truly walk with you step by step. Comment, I know God walks with me in every detail. Pay close attention, my son, when the fulfillment of your purpose draws near, the adversary intensifies distractions, tries to divert your mind with subtle noise, whispers shortcuts that seem easier, pushes emotionally drained people toward you to weaken your strength, and even attempts to use your own memories against you, making you believe you are less than you truly are. I saw when you almost yielded to those thoughts, when you nearly allowed ideas that were not born of my Spirit to guide you, but today I reaffirm with eternal authority, you are not late, you are not off course, you have not lost any time. On the contrary, you are closer to fulfillment than you imagine. The signs you've been feeling, the intense pressure squeezing your mind and heart, are not signs of abandonment but of nearness, like the earth trembling before the seed breaks through the surface and reveals the life hidden within. I am shaping you, refining you, aligning you with divine precision, and all you need to do now is remain in faith, remain obedient, remain grounded in what I've already revealed countless times in your soul. Do not retreat, do not question what I've confirmed, for what is about to emerge requires only that you stay firm, and your firmness will open doors no opposing force can close. Did you know that there is an effective method to attract greater financial prosperity? This technique can help transform your deep-seated beliefs and change the way you perceive reality. It had a profound impact on my life, and we would like to invite you to explore this special practice. When we trust that God wants to act in our lives, we gain the courage to ask Him directly. God desires to bless each of us in a unique and wonderful way. That's why it's important to seek His blessings with faith and confidence, believing that He has a special plan for you. If you would like to support our work and the team dedicated to bringing content that inspires and transforms, we invite you to check out our product. The link is available in the first comment, so you can discover how this technique can also help you on your journey. Your contribution helps us continue sharing messages that make a difference. We deeply appreciate your trust and support. My beloved child, it is written, "Call to me and I will answer you, and show you great and mighty things which you do not know." Jeremiah chapter 33 verse 3. How many times have I spoken to you through dreams you did not fully perceive? How many times have I placed small signs before you, a phrase, an unexpected encounter, a strong stirring in your spirit, and you assumed it was coincidence? Nothing was by chance. I have been guiding you to this exact moment, to this revelation you are receiving now. Even the nights when sleep refused to come had purpose. I was strengthening your discernment, adjusting your inner vision, preparing your understanding to recognize what is about to manifest. Now your eyes are clearer, your spirit more awake, and your faith more mature. What once felt confusing now begins to illuminate. What once seemed like silence now reveals divine orchestration. Every whisper, every pause, every stirring within you was part of my design. You were never abandoned, you were being shaped. And now, with the veil lifted, you finally perceive what I have been unveiling step by step. Comment: I thank God for the signs He has given me and continues to give. My beloved child, the invisible reality does not move according to human haste, it moves according to divine precision. Every movement, every apparent delay, every silence you struggled to understand was part of a spiritual alignment that needed to occur. There were situations you deeply desired, but they would have harmed you had I allowed them before the right time. There were doors you asked me to open that I closed to protect you. There were people who had to leave, fears that had to be confronted, wounds that had to heal before you could step into what I prepared. And now that your inner world has begun to align, it is time to move forward without allowing weariness to overshadow the light I placed within you. This season, this exact season, is sacred. It is not random, nor accidental, nor delayed. It is orchestrated. What seemed stagnant was actually construction. What felt like loss was preservation. What felt like silence was strategy. You are standing in a moment that was written long before you understood it. And now I pour fresh clarity into your path so you may walk with confidence, not confusion. Comment: I receive divine precision over my life. My dear child, listen to what I declare, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it lingers, wait for it will surely come, it will not delay. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3. Many stop right before the breakthrough. Many give up the moment the season begins to shift. Many retreat when the promise is moments away from materializing. But this will not be your story. I am strengthening your endurance, expanding your spiritual capacity to remain standing when everything around you shakes. The enemy tried to plant doubt in your mind, to drain you emotionally, to persuade you that I had forgotten you. But I never forget a child who seeks me. You, who have fought storms both inward and outward, will now see that none of my promises return void. The pressure you felt was not destruction, it was preparation. The battles that exhausted you were shaping your authority. You were being trained to recognize my voice above every other sound. This is why you still stand. This is why you still believe. And this is why you will see what I have spoken. Comment: I wait with faith, because I know God's promise does not fail. Child, now I ask something deep from you. Open your innermost being and receive these words as living seeds. Do not treat them as a beautiful message. They are divine direction, nourishment for your soul, healing for the hidden places, strength for your weary days. I brought you exactly to this point because you needed to hear this before the appointed time begins to unfold. My glory is already in motion. My favor already rests upon you. My angels are already positioned. What remains now is your response. Remain faithful. The next phase does not depend on your strength but on your surrender. Let go of the weight, release the fear, trust the unseen. My movement does not require your perfection, only your willingness. What I am preparing is greater than your expectations, deeper than your understanding, and closer than you imagine. I am aligning paths, shifting atmospheres, and opening spiritual doors that no human could create. All I ask is that you remain open, receptive, and anchored in my presence. Comment: I open my heart to receive everything God has for me. Remember what I promised you. Behold, I have set before you an open door, and no one can shut it. Revelation chapter 3 verse 8. When I open, no one closes. When I choose to honor, no one hinders. When I determine a harvest season, no human hand, no opposing force, no whisper of doubt can cancel what I have marked in heaven. This time has been set apart for you. It is not for someone else, not for later, not for when you feel more prepared. It is now. I gave you the gift of spiritual sensitivity so you could perceive this before others. I gave you dreams, signs, and revelations, and now I give you the final confirmation. The season has shifted. What was blocked will flow. What was withheld will be released. What was delayed will accelerate. What you thought was over is about to resurrect. I have positioned you for a divine unfolding that cannot be reversed. Walk through what I have opened. Do not fear the new. Do not question what I have already affirmed. Comment, I believe that God has opened doors no one can shut. Stop for a moment, my beloved child, and let the depths of these words settle into the core of who you are. You have been walking under a weight that few truly understand, carrying silent exhaustion behind your strength, and yet I have been with you in every breath, every moment when giving up seemed easier than continuing. I know the hidden battles you faced, the long nights when your thoughts raced and your heart trembled, and I know how many times you asked yourself if the path you were on was still worth it. But now I speak directly to your innermost being, inviting you to a sacred stillness. Listen with attention that flows from your spirit, for this moment is not ordinary. This is the turning point, the place where the invisible becomes visible, where what has been cultivated in the unseen begins to show itself in the realm you walk in. The tension you feel is not a sign of failure or weakness, it is the vibration of breakthrough approaching, the trembling of the atmosphere around you as what I have planned begins to draw near. The opposing force senses this approach as well. He knows he cannot stop what I have declared, but he attempts to draw your focus away, to cloud your clarity with worries and noise. Yet none of his distractions have the power to undo what I have spoken over you. You have endured too long, stayed faithful through too much, and your resilience has become a testimony even you have not yet fully recognized. If you allow the noise around you to consume your thoughts, you will miss the gentle leading I am placing before you. If you let hopelessness settle into your heart, you may step away from my promise just before it comes to pass. But if you stay close to me, closer than fear, closer than confusion, closer than the opinions of others, you will see the purpose behind every season of waiting. You have wondered why things took so long, why doors opened slowly, why clarity seemed delayed, but nothing was wasted. Every moment of patience built something within you. Every tear watered the ground of your future. And now what you longed for is drawing near. The one who opposes you knows this, which is why he increases his efforts at this very hour. He wants you to believe that this is merely an emotional moment, a temporary feeling. But what you sense is not fleeting, it is spiritual reality touching the edges of your awareness. It is the signal that what has been forming in the unseen is ready to manifest. Your spirit recognizes what your mind cannot fully interpret yet. And that is why I call you to stay attentive, to protect the focus that has carried you this far. The specific moment I have ordained is approaching, and nothing must distract you from receiving it. With every passing moment, the fullness of my promise moves closer to you. This is not the time to drift, not the time to let your heart grow careless, not the time to assume that opportunities are endless. Many have lost what was meant for them because they believed they could delay obedience or wait until they felt more prepared. But the time I am giving you now is holy and intentional. I am calling to you in this exact hour because the spiritual access before you is open. Do not take lightly what I am saying. Treat my promise with reverence. Hold it close. Do not try to adjust it to your understanding or reshape it according to your fears. Trust the timing I have chosen. If you remain steady, if you keep walking with your heart anchored in faith, you will see the favor I have prepared for you unfold in ways that will leave you in awe. I am not asking you to force anything. I am asking you to align with what I am already doing. The door is opening, not because of your effort alone, but because I have spoken it into motion. And what I initiate, no one can undo. If your heart remains unwavering toward me, nothing in this world can interfere with what I have begun on your behalf. Challenges may rise, opinions may shake, delays may seem to surface, but none of these have authority over my word. Do not let the uncertainties of others disturb your peace. Do not let the silence of certain moments make you question the work I am completing behind the scenes. My promise is firm. My commitment does not fail. I sustain you even when you do not perceive it. And now, I invite you to declare, boldly and with confidence, the truth you believe. When you speak it, you strengthen your alignment with my promise. It is not an empty gesture, it is a proclamation of faith. It is your spirit saying, I trust what God has spoken. It is your heart confirming that you refuse to be moved by temporary circumstances or shifting emotions. Every time you declare what I have promised, you anchor yourself deeper into the reality I am unfolding for you. This is a time to remain alert, my beloved. A time to sharpen your awareness. A time to guard what you allow into your mind and spirit. For the reward that approaches is not small. It is not symbolic. It is real, substantial, and divinely crafted. Protect your inner landscape. Do not give space to negativity, fear, or voices that diminish your faith. Your focus is your gateway. Your discipline is your shield. Your reverence is your strength. What I have prepared is ready. I have set everything in motion, aligned every detail, and cleared the spiritual path for what must come. Do not drift now. Do not allow anything or anyone to pull you away from the clarity I am giving you. What you are approaching is greater than you realize. This moment is not random. You were not guided here by coincidence or chance. You have been prepared for this season long before you were aware of it. I, who created you with intention, arranged this exact moment in your journey so you could hear me with clarity. I set aside this portion of time to speak to your deep self, to awaken the spiritual sensitivity that allows you to recognize my voice even through the noise of the world. What you feel now is not imagination. It is not a passing idea. It is the certainty that the spiritual realm has been stirred for your sake. Doors that were once closed are beginning to unlock. Paths that were once hidden are clearing. Insights you once struggled to grasp are becoming illuminated. Every detail of your life carries purpose. Nothing escapes my sight. Not the burdens you released silently, not the battles you endured without recognition, not the moments you felt unseen or forgotten. I was there in every quiet request, every tear, every lonely hour. I do not forget. I do not mislead. I do not fail. And now I give you this assurance, you are stepping into a divine unveiling prepared long before today. So keep your senses awake, my child. Stay attentive. Remain steady. For what is unfolding is far greater than anything you have anticipated. Do not expect something small or ordinary. What I am releasing will not simply improve your life, it will transform it. It will mark a turning point so unmistakable that even those who doubted you will be unable to deny what I have done. Many will struggle to understand how such a change happened. Many will question it, analyze it, or attempt to explain it away. but you will know. You will recognize that this moment was shaped by my hand alone. And you will understand why I insisted so strongly that you guard your focus, protect your heart, and stay close to me. The promise is near. The moment is approaching. And you, my beloved, are ready to receive it. My child, listen closely, for what I am placing before you now springs directly from the depth of my intention for your life. Nothing that is coming will bear the mark of coincidence, nor will it resemble something produced by human hands alone. What I am preparing carries a weight too profound, a beauty too intricate, and a purpose too exact for anyone to attribute it to luck or chance. You will know it is my doing, for it will shine with the unmistakable signature of my love and my sovereignty. Even the doors that once seemed sealed shut were never losses, but shields. When pathways disappeared, when people withdrew, when opportunities faded before you could reach them, you looked at these moments and thought you were being pushed backward. But I was protecting you with fierce intention, guiding you away from roads that would break your purpose, away from influences that would distort your identity, away from destinations that would drain your spirit. I withheld what you thought you needed because I saw what would have harmed you. And now the moment approaches where you will witness with your own eyes the way I open paths no one can close. You will recognize my hand clearing the way, not with struggle, but with authority, and every step will be saturated with the assurance that I'm leading you into something lasting, stable, and aligned with who you truly are. My beloved, this is a season where I am calling your heart to be more attentive than ever before. I am drawing you into a deeper awareness of my presence, into a sharper discernment of my whispers, into a steadier confidence in my timing. Do not allow the familiar rhythm of daily life to dull the fire I have placed inside you. Do not let routine make you forget the extraordinary work I am unfolding behind the scenes. The world around you may rush and overwhelm, but I am inviting you into a steady stillness where my voice becomes unmistakably clear. If you stay watchful, your steps will not falter. If you remain anchored in me, your path will not scatter into confusion. You were never meant to wander aimlessly. I designed your journey so it would unfold beneath the light of my guidance. I have been illuminating your steps even when you thought you were walking alone. And now, as this new chapter forms before you, I ask you to stay awake in spirit, for this is not a time to drift, it is a time to rise with intention. What comes next requires your awareness, your trust, and your willingness to move when I signal, for my timing is perfect even when your understanding cannot yet see its full shape. I know how the weight has pressed against your spirit. I have seen the moments when surrender felt easier than endurance, when exhaustion whispered that you had nothing left to offer, when doubts circled your mind like shadows. But hear me, what is unfolding is not an ending. It is the beginning of something new, something powerful, something so profoundly aligned with what I formed inside you that your mind will struggle to grasp its entirety at first. You do not need to understand every detail. You do not need to figure out the hidden logic of my movements. I am not asking you to unravel mysteries or decode signs. I am asking you to hold on to trust with both hands, to choose belief over fear, to stand firm even when clarity feels distant. My beloved, I have already activated what I promised. I have already set into motion forces that you cannot see with physical eyes. I have commanded things into alignment. I have instructed my angels. I have arranged circumstances long before you thought to pray. The unseen realm has shifted on your behalf. All I ask is that you remain connected to me, deeply, intentionally, wholeheartedly, so that nothing steals the seed I planted within your spirit. Do not allow discouragement to erase what I have written inside you. Do not let temporary exhaustion blur the promise that has accompanied you since the beginning. Time keeps moving, and every passing moment draws you closer to the fulfillment of what I spoke. Even when nothing changes externally, trust that something is advancing beneath the surface. You will look back soon and understand that no effort you made was wasted. Every prayer whispered into the quiet, every moment of waiting that felt endless, every step you took in faith when nothing made sense, none of it was pointless. These pieces formed the foundation of what you are about to receive. And when the promise becomes visible, when it moves from spirit to reality, you will see that even the moments you resented were essential. You will understand why you were delayed, why you were redirected, why you were protected. You will understand that I did not bring you to the edge of breakthrough so you could remain standing outside of it. I brought you here so you could enter what I have prepared. My precious child, I speak to you with seriousness because the moment you're stepping into is not ordinary. It is a turning point, a divine intersection between what I have spoken over your life and what you are about to experience. This is where faith meets fulfillment. This is where hidden promises rise into sight. This is where long battles give way to long-awaited clarity. And for this reason, I urge you to keep your inner being alive with passion. Do not let your heart fall into indifference. Do not let spiritual numbness steal the intensity of this moment. Keep your spirit awake. Keep your devotion burning. This is a sacred threshold, one that carries weight, purpose, and eternal significance. And as you stand here, I ask you to choose awareness. Choose engagement. Choose presence. The choices you make now echo far beyond this moment, for this is a chapter that shapes the direction of the seasons ahead. Declare your presence, my beloved. This simple, quiet, intentional act shifts things, within you, around you, and before you. When you stand with awareness, you affirm that you are ready, that you are listening, that you are aligned. When you choose to respond rather than remain passive, you link yourself to the truth I'm revealing. And in this connection, your spirit is strengthened, your discernment sharpens, and your heart stays open. I see every choice you make, even the silent ones that no one else hears. I see when you choose perseverance over surrender. I see when you choose trust even while carrying uncertainty. I see when you continue to seek me even when clarity seems distant. None of these acts go unnoticed. None of them are insignificant. I honor what you do in faith. I honor the moments you choose me over fear. I honor the devotion you show in private. And just as I witness your endurance, I respond to it. Child, hear this deeply. This is not a closure, it is an opening. What is happening now is not random or accidental. It aligns perfectly with what I designed for your journey. Persist, and you will understand. I saw every tear you cried, the ones no one else saw, the ones you thought vanished unnoticed. I stood beside you through nights that felt endless, when sorrow filled your room like a silent fog. I held you when your spirit felt so fragile you feared it would break. Even when you had no words left, when only sighs rose from the deepest part of your being, I heard them. Every breath of pain reached me. Nothing you experienced was hidden. I have always been the quiet presence who stays close during anguish, the gentle watcher who never steps away from your suffering. When you felt misunderstood, when you believed no one could comprehend the weight you carried, I understood perfectly. When loneliness tried to swallow your courage, I held you close enough to keep your spirit alive. Even when you could not feel me, when your heart was too tired, too wounded, too overwhelmed to sense me, I stood right beside you. I never left. I never dismissed your pain. I never abandoned you to the heaviness that tried to consume you. I was the one holding your strength together when you thought you had none. I was the one keeping your spirit from collapsing when sorrow pressed too deeply. I was the unseen support lifting you through moments that would have crushed you without my presence. And now, as you step out of those shadows and into the unfolding of what I have prepared, I remind you, you have never walked alone. You were carried through seasons you thought you barely survived. You were protected in ways you only partially understood. And you were guided with a precision that will only make sense once you see the fullness of what I'm bringing you into. My child, I know that many never perceived your inner storms. To them, you appeared strong, composed, even joyful. They saw your smile and assumed you were well. But I saw through every layer you hid behind. I knew when you forced a smile while your soul yearned for rest. I perceived the exhaustion beneath your courage. I heard the prayers you could not articulate with words but expressed through trembling breath. Nothing is hidden from me, not your fears, not your hopes, not your quiet pleas. I am the one who sees the deepest truths within the heart. And from that place of profound understanding, I speak to you now. Your tears were seeds planted in sacred soil. Your sleepless nights were not wasted hours, they were preparation for the path ahead. Every moment you felt overwhelmed yet chose to continue was shaping you in ways that will soon become unmistakably clear. You believed you were drowning in sorrow, but I was teaching you how to walk on waters you once feared. The weight you carried became the very strength that will anchor you in the days to come. Nothing was meaningless. Nothing was wasted. I transformed every tear into nourishment for the destiny unfolding before you. My beloved, when the burden felt too heavy for you to carry, it was my constant support that held you upright. You believed you could not take another step, yet you moved forward because I infused you with strength when yours ran out. You saw stillness and assumed I was distant, but I was working silently, beyond what your senses could detect. The quiet you experienced was not abandonment, it was meticulous preparation. While you felt nothing shifting, I was aligning circumstances, mending broken pieces inside you, and equipping your spirit for greater things. I was reinforcing your foundation so that when you stepped into the blessings I prepared, you would be able to sustain them without collapse. The silence you interpreted as emptiness was actually the breath I held as I shaped your future. I sustained your belief even when you doubted your own ability to hold on. I kept your spirit from breaking completely when the pressure was suffocating. And though you did not see it, I was transforming each tear into strength, each ache into understanding, each sigh into resilience. The patience you thought was forced upon you was actually the gateway through which my greatest works entered your life. I gathered every tear you cried and shaped them into a wellspring of internal strength. Nothing you endured vanished into nothingness. Every quiet effort, every sincere attempt to stay faithful when your spirit felt empty, every whisper of a prayer spoken in exhaustion became a building block of the person you are becoming. And at the appointed moment, everything that was formed in secret will be revealed in light. The world will see what you carried. They will see the weight you endured with dignity. They will see the strength that was hidden beneath your silent suffering. Nothing was lost. Nothing was overlooked. My beloved, listen with intention now. I know your long nights of deep struggle. I cherish every private sorrow. I recognize the determination within you, even when you trembled under the pressure. I was with you then, and I remain with you now. My presence carried you when your strength was nearly gone. And the same presence will guide you when truth and vindication finally come into the open. You were never weak for weeping. You were never inadequate for feeling weary. You were human, and you remained faithful despite the pain. Every tear you shed carried a quiet form of trust, even when you didn't realize it. I, the one who never dismisses a hurting spirit, protected each tear as a testament to your devotion. You thought your tears fell unseen, but they rose before me like incense. And in my perfect timing, I will transform every single one into a powerful declaration, an undeniable testimony of my faithfulness in your life. What was hidden in dark seasons will emerge in brilliant light. What grew in the soil of sorrow will bloom with extraordinary beauty. My child, I saw every moment when you were dismissed by others. I witnessed when you offered your best and received nothing in return. I saw when your efforts were overlooked, even when you poured your heart into everything you did. I heard the harsh words aimed at you, the unjust judgments, the untrue accusations. And I saw the silent ache that followed each wound. Not a single part of your suffering escaped my sight. While others passed over you, I gave you my full attention. When they misjudged you, I recognized your true heart. While others saw only your external circumstances, I saw the unwavering strength woven into your spirit. I valued every action you performed, even the ones that seemed small or invisible to the world. I am the one who sees deeper than any human eye, who discerns truth beyond appearances. Where others saw weakness, I saw perseverance. Where others saw silence, I saw devotion. When your beliefs were mocked, I witnessed the unshakable foundation of your faith. Understand, my beloved, that nothing you experienced was without purpose. Every injustice became a tool in my hand. Every moment you were overlooked became preparation for elevation. Every criticism became shaping for your character. Every tear became nourishment for your future. My nature is fairness, and I assure you, every difficulty faced with trust will become a mark of distinction. You may have felt utterly alone, but I walked beside you through every step. And though the world may not have recognized your endurance, heaven recorded each moment with honor. Your tears did not fall into emptiness, they fell into my hands. My child, I tell you now with certainty, not a single wound was in vain. Every hidden ache, every moment you felt dismissed, every time you were treated unjustly, I saw it and I held it. I did not allow those experiences to destroy you, I used them to refine you. I strengthened your spirit in the places where pain tried to hollow you out. I protected your heart when bitterness tried to take root. I transformed rejection into resilience, loneliness into depth, sorrow into wisdom, and weariness into authority. You became stronger in silence than many become in celebration. And though you felt small, unseen, and unappreciated, you were becoming everything I intended you to be. You were walking through the shaping fire that prepares chosen hearts for extraordinary destinies. You were being formed in the shadows because the light you will walk into is too bright for an unprepared spirit. What was meant to crush you became the very thing that set you apart. And now, my precious one, hear the truth with clarity, you are not standing where you stand by accident. You are arriving at a threshold formed by every tear, every prayer, every silent battle, every sleepless night, every moment you chose faith over surrender. I have carried you to this point not so you would collapse in exhaustion, but so you would rise in strength. I did not allow your spirit to break completely because my purpose for your life is greater than every burden you faced. You are entering a season where what was unseen will be honored openly. What was misunderstood will be clarified. What was taken from you will be restored. What wounded you will be healed. What felt meaningless will take shape with purpose. I am not done with you. I never was. And now, every tear you shed becomes the foundation of the joy that is coming. Every moment of isolation becomes the soil from which confidence will grow. Every ache becomes a stepping stone. My beloved child, you are stepping into a chapter where my presence will not only sustain you, it will lift you. And all that once broke you will become the very testimony that reveals my faithfulness. With love, God. I hope this message has been an inspiration to you. If it touched your heart, write Amen in the comments and share it with someone who also needs to hear this word. I invite you to click on the first comment, where you will find a special prayer and a suggestion to strengthen your spiritual journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive more inspiring content like this. See you tomorrow.